Hey, welcome to the best episodes of Credit 101. This is episode 21. In this episode we're going to talk about when to actually get professional help when it comes down to your credit. And when I talk about professional help, I'm talking about you guys have negative accounts on your credit reports, like what to do, like the accounts are not coming off. I have tried to dispute. It's different situations, there's different reasons why you should get help. We're going to talk about when you should actually do that. And then I actually have a guide. So if you guys already have the membership, you guys can download this guide down below. So I talk about 5 different steps. We're going to go over step 1 now, and then you just go over the other different ones. But it's 5 different steps so you can decide and you can know what you guys can do if you need to get professional help. But this guide is going to be great so that you guys don't have to just wonder or have questions. You can figure out the answers to your actual questions on if you guys should get help, and then how you can actually get that help. If you don't have a membership yet, go ahead and use the $1 trial that I have for 7 days to get your membership. It's over 40 different downloads in there, from checklists, dispute letters, guides, different worksheets, kind of like this guide that we have here. And then also it's over 200 actual videos. So definitely check it out. It is only a $1 trial to start. So definitely check it out. Let's actually look at this guide. I don't want to spend a lot of time just talking. I want to actually go through this guide. So when you're repairing your credit, it can be very overwhelming. So especially if you guys have like multiple errors in your credit reports, collections, or just complex disputes altogether, this guide is going to help you handle the credit repair process on your own, or if you need to seek help is going to tell you about seeking help. So step 1, you have to assess your credit situation. If you need to know, if you need to really get help, you need to see what's your problems. So first evaluate to determine if you can manage the credit repair alone or you're gonna need help. So do you have multiple errors on your credit report? Yes or no? If you have multiple errors on your credit reports, honestly, now I only think about suing these different companies. I don't think about personally like paying these companies or just focusing on only the disputes. If the disputes don't work, I want to go straight to suing. I don't want to play games with these companies. So if you got multiple errors, you may think, okay, let me just start off with help, because I already got 10 accounts and I know this is going to be a big problem, or I already did 2 months of disputes that didn't come off. You got multiple errors, then you may determine, hey, I need to get some help with this. Are there unresolved collections and judgments against you? Do you have, Midland, LVMV funding, ERC? Do you have these companies saying that you owe them? Do you have any judgments that's out there too? But don't forget, judgments should not be on your credit report. If you guys have the membership, check out the episode on judgments if you do have them. And I have a free dispute letter inside the membership that you guys can use to remove the judgments from your credit report. So definitely check that out. But that would mean you need professional help. Do you have inaccurate public records like bankruptcies and tax liens? Then you might need additional help with that, because don't forget, bankruptcy have to report a certain way on your credit report, and tax, not just tax liens, but just liens. Liens should not be on your credit reports at all. Only thing that they're reporting in terms of public records is bankruptcy. Are you unsure about how to dispute errors on your credit report? If you're unsure, or if you haven't talked to anybody to know like the different things that's out there, then maybe you do need to seek some help. And that's why I say, you know what, let me go to school to be a lawyer, because I learned so much about this here with the FCRA, but it's so much more to it. And to me, it's really suing. That is the biggest thing of it all, is suing. And I just feel like we don't have enough representation in terms of suing. So I said, I need to get more information. I need to get more education. And that's why I'm in school now. So that is good. So you guys may need to pursue more. And since I was unsure about how to do certain disputes or, certain lawsuits, I'm in school right now to learn that. I'm seeking professional help. And I'm actually telling me, have you been a victim of identity theft or fraud? If you've been a victim of identity theft and fraud and you actually did your dispute already and they have not removed it, maybe you need to get professional help. If you have not did the fraud, I did a episode inside of Credit 101 where we talked about identity theft and fraud, and I told you guys the steps you need to go to get these accounts from off your credit reports, and they should be off your credit reports within 10 days. I told you guys the steps, and if you have done those steps and it has not worked, then you need to seek help. But just in case somebody want to know what the steps are, when it come down, it's very simple in a way. When it come down to, if you guys do have fraud on your credit report, you need to file a FTC report. So go ahead and file your identity theft with the FTC. Use that to file your credit, not the credit report. Use your FTC report and get you a police report about it, and then you take both of those and you mail it with a dispute letter to the credit bureaus, telling them to remove the fraudulent accounts from your credit reports, and they're supposed to remove it. I will also send both of those reports to each account that you have listed as fraud. So if you had a Discover account on your credit report that was fraud, you want to mail a letter to them also. But if this seems like a lot to, because that's supposed to be really the end. After they get that letter, they supposed to remove it. Like, we're not gonna go back and forth. Maybe they're gonna want additional information if they really do think it was you. But other than that, that thing should be off your credit reports. If they don't do what they need to do right away, we really need to get used to this. So one of the companies, like, seriously. But that's how you would do the identity theft, just in case somebody have it. It's that's how you would take care of it. It's supposed to be removed. Is your credit score affecting your ability to get loans, housing, employment, and you're having problem? And then maybe you need to seek help to figure out what you need to do to get the loan that you want, the house that you want, or the job that you want, in terms of what your credit score need to be, or how to get your credit score there. Are you finding that the credit repair process is stressful and confusing? It can be stressful, it can be confusing, but I know this for sure. I'm not gonna lie about this. It's only stressful and confusing because these companies are not deleting accounts from the credit report when they're supposed to. They put duplicate accounts on credit reports. They're collecting on debts after you ask for validation, and they're not sending the correct validation. And they're doing all of this because we're not suing them. So they're going to keep doing this. So it's stressful because they're not doing what they need to do in terms of removing these accounts from our credit reports, but it don't have to be stressful. Like, literally, you can send 2 months of dispute letters, and if they're not doing what they need to do, then you could possibly have a cause of action, which is something I found out. Like, after I sent you a dispute letter, you did not respond to me with a debt for my validation of debt. You did not respond. You put on my credit report. Then you put a duplicate amount, and then you got a amount that's not correct on top of that. Like, this is a lawsuit. Like, I could continue to dispute this account, or I could just go ahead and sue, which is what it needs to be. And when you sue, you want to get stuff moving faster than if you was to just keep, basically, if you ask me, just running your mouth, sending a dispute letter. Because that's what I was harsh with myself with the reality of how I talk to myself. Like, you're going to just keep running your mouth and they're not going to delete it. Like, you need to sue them. Like, that's the reality you have to come up to before. But if it feels stressful, that's because these companies not doing what they need to do. So you need to just do what you need to do and protect yourself. But there's so many other things on here that you guys can be able to go through. Like, consider, doing on your own, when to actually seek help, finding the help that you need, and then monitoring the process, staying informed. This document is available down below if you guys have the membership. So go ahead and just download the document and go through the guide. If you guys are in a membership, you have questions, schedule a call with me. I'll be happy to go over any questions that you guys have, because I'm telling y'all, it don't have to be that complicated. Like, when it comes down to these accounts, it really don't. These credit bureaus and these companies are making it complicated because they're not doing what they need to do, honestly. But I will definitely see you guys in the next video. If you don't have a membership, go ahead and get the membership down below in the comments and the description. It's $1 trial for 7 days, and it's over 70 different downloads. So not 70, 40. So you definitely gonna appreciate it. Hopefully I'll add more over time. Tell me what y'all need, and I'll see if I can create something for everybody to help with that, especially if it's a guy. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to episode 22 of the best episodes of Credit 101. The original episode for Credit 101 is actually episode 63. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about a worksheet that I put together. It's good to track money. Like, say if you were to get some extra income, what you guys can use that for in terms of your debt, like paying off debt, or should you be putting money into your emergency fund? Should you be taking some of it and just having fun with it? I don't know about you guys, but I used to always just be like, okay, I'm gonna just take this amount and do this with it, take this amount and do this with it. And maybe I didn't put it towards the most important things. So that's why I put this together. And I also want to make sure I teach my kids things like this, or even for myself, I can just, it helps me separate like how my money is, and if I was to get a large amount. So I just want to show you guys the same thing, because you guys can use this to determine what you want to do with your money if you were to get extra money and you just don't know what to do, or you plan on blowing it and it's something better that you can do. So let's actually look at this. If you guys have the membership, you can download it right below. Just go ahead and download it, and then print it out or use it in your iPad and start filling it out when you get extra money, or if you have extra money now and you really don't know what to do with it. If you don't have a membership, it's literally $1 for the first 7 days, literally. And then it's $9.99 at the time of recording this. So I know it may go up, but just go ahead and check and see how much it is at the time of recording this. Let's get into the guide. So here it is here. So when you guys receive extra income, whether it's going to be a bonus, a tax refund, tax season is coming up, you got a side hustle, or you just had like unsuspected windfall where you just got some money out of nowhere, I want you guys to come up with a plan on what to do with that extra income. So I want you guys to calculate what it is. Maybe it's multiple things. Maybe you got some side hustle income. Maybe you get a tax refund. You got a bonus or commission. Maybe you got a gift or whatever it can be. Go ahead and put those numbers here and then figure out what's the total you have. Now, you guys can prioritize your debts. These is just how I would kind of look at it as, especially depending on your situation, because I have been listening to Dave Ramsey some. So it is certain ways I would love to put things, but if you get a large sum of money and you just want to evenly get ahead on everything, then this can be a good one for you. So make sure that you put at least 20% towards your emergency fund. If you already have your emergency fund there, then maybe you want to put it towards the next thing, which is paying off debt. You already putting 30% on that, but maybe you want to actually put full 50% on that. Investing in your future, whether you're going to do the retirement or like the college savings account, you can put 20% there. You can set aside some stuff for like some short-term goals. Maybe you wanted to have a vacation, so maybe you put to the side the 15%. And maybe you want to do a home repair, so maybe you like, oh, let me put to the side 15%, and then I'll use all of that money to repair whatever I need to repair around the house at the time, or just put that for later on. And then maybe you just want to treat yourself with only 15% and not the full 100%. But these are the different percentages. Maybe you just want to put 15%, in your pockets. You can do whatever you want to do with it, and then that can actually be your vacation too. But this is a nice breakdown of what you can do. You can pick what you want to put it towards, but this worksheet can be great where you can actually just fill it out. So again, where are you going to put it? Are you going to put a percentage towards these different funds, and what's the amount you're going to do? This is where you're going to actually fill it in. So I know for emergency fund, I say, hey, do 20%. Maybe you want to do 0%. Like I said, do 50% towards your debt. Go ahead and fill this out so that you can know where to put it, and then we'll start filling everything out. So for the emergency fund, Dave Ramsey talk about, if you try to be debt free, you go ahead and put $1,000 to the side. Maybe you're trying to put your full 3 to 6 months of expenses to the side too. So you can go ahead and fill this out and put it in like months. Maybe you're getting multiple ones, or maybe you're just going to have just one check. So you could put here exactly how much you're going to save, like what's your goal and how much you're going to actually save. If you want to separate and say, hey, for the next 6 months, I want to get to my goal for my emergency fund. I know I need 15,000. Let me go ahead and separate it. Let me divide it for 6 months. And then you want to put your goals and then how much you actually save. That'd be good too. Now, down payment on high interest debt. Do you got some credit cards? What's the interest rate? Whichever one is the highest, that's where you should put the money down on. And usually a lot of times it's going to be credit cards, especially if you guys are not paying your statement balance by the due date. Okay, it's definitely gonna be those credit cards, but figure out what's the highest interest, and whatever you said you're gonna put down on paying down your debt, go ahead and do that. And if you had a personal loan and you had more than enough money to pay this one, maybe you want to pay off 2, maybe you want to pay off 3, or you can double back and pay off more later on, but just get started. and put the amounts that you want to put in here. Did you want to put some money into your IRA? Did you say you was going to invest some for the future? What percentage? And then how are you going to break it down? Are you going to put more money into your IRA this year, your 401k, maybe the college savings, the 529 plan for your kids or whoever? Then definitely go ahead and fill in the amount that you had contributed to those. Do you guys have any short-term goals? Remember, I think this was like 15% on the original, but you can put a certain amount, like, hey, for the vacation fund, I'm going to put $200 in there. For the home improvement, I want to put $400. But you can put the amount that you want to put on here and put to these different things. Again, this is really something that's just going to track it. That's all this was about. You actually really putting it down on paper and doing it. I've been writing a lot. I need to write a lot. It's better for me to have it down so I can keep looking at it instead of me just saying I'm gonna do it in my head. I have to write it down. And I think in a lot of people in our community, I'm guessing, don't write a lot of stuff down. So it's best just to write it down. That way, especially if you know you're getting $10,000 next month, before the money come, you have this written down. Because once that money come, you might decide to put it all into treating yourself. So it would be best to say exactly what you want to do with that money, so that you don't have to worry about using that money on something you shouldn't use it on. So treating yourself. What if you said 15%? Okay, what is that 15% gonna be broken down to? Dining and entertainment? Are you doing shopping or personal care? What exactly you're going to do? And then you can track your progress all together. Like, how much did you want to put in there and how much you actually put in there. And again, the thing is, when you have this extra money, it's extra income, go ahead and put it towards something, especially if you do like a side hustle. And with that side hustle, you're technically trying to use that to pay off debt or to fill in these numbers. You see, it was multiple spots where you can go on for months, like the emergency fund. We got 6 different spots, 7 different spots. Maybe you want to set a 6-month goal to put money in there from your side hustle alone. This is what this thing can be really good for. But when you guys get this extra money, please do something good with it. What's the point of really having extra money when it's going to be so temporary, when it's not really pushing you forward? So I always think about that, like, how is this really going to push me forward when it come down to money? So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. If you guys are in a membership, I'll make sure I answer your question directly. Make sure you download it. Download this actual guide and start filling it out, especially if you get extra money or if you got a side hustle, you're trying to figure out what to do with the extra money. This can be good for you. And if you don't have a membership, it's $1 for the first 7 days and then $9.99 at the time of recording this. Is no reason why you cannot have it, because less than $10 a month, like, is very, very cheap. It's no reason why you shouldn't have it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, welcome to episode 23 of the best episodes of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about negotiating with creditors before actually falling behind. So you don't have to wait till you actually really fall behind, start getting a lot of bad credit reporting. You need to talk to them right away. And I want to help you guys understand how simple it is to talk to these companies. And I always want to tell you guys, this is something that I learned. Somebody going to just say yes or no, and I literally live by that. Like, you're going to say yes or no, and then I have to figure out what move I need to make next. Okay, so I done told you what it was. Now I have to figure out what move I have to make next. And think about that with these companies. So I actually have a negotiation script for you all, and with this negotiation script, you guys will be able to see like the forming the conversation. If you guys are in the Credit 101, you can download it down below. I have a membership, a course that you guys can sign up for, and it's literally $1 for the first 7 days and then just $9.99 after that. Like, and it's over 40 different downloads. I made this where nobody can have a reason why they don't have it, because y'all can get the $5 meals from Walmart, which is one meal, and be at $10, or wherever you're gonna McDonald's, or wherever you want to go eat at. You know, the cheapest fast food that you can think about. I'm not even talking about going out to eat to a restaurant. I'm talking about very, very cheap. So it's no excuse why you guys cannot have it. So this information is definitely available for you all. But let's get into it. Let's look. We're not going to actually fully look at the script. If you guys have the script inside the membership, you guys can see the script, and then you can see the 5 different things that you want to ask. You'll see the 5 different things that you want to actually ask the company, whatever company you're talking to. Now, this is great for negotiating when you feel intimidated, but I want you guys to not feel intimidated because we're just going to talk about the right strategy. So, if you know the right strategy, you know, you want to do some type of repayment terms, you want lower entry, lower interest rates, you want to just settle the debt, then this is definitely the script for you. Again, when you go and look at the script, you see how the talking is formulated. Just get used to that. And if you have to, read exactly what's on there and talk to them that way and say, I'm just so sorry. I just have to write all of my notes down. So please bear with me, or whatever you have to say, but just get it out. Period. Okay. So the first thing is, when you guys, these are some tips that you guys need to know ahead of time. When you guys are trying to negotiate with these companies, you guys have to be prepared. You need to know what your current financial situation is. You need to know how much you actually owe, what you can realistically afford. Don't say, oh, I can do my repayment at $700 a month, knowing that you couldn't even do the $500 a month. Be honest with them. This is best case scenario. Let them know what you would like, and then you can meet in the middle from there. But know exactly what you can realistically afford. If you have any necessary documents ready, if there's anything that you want to go over, like account statements or a budget, make sure you guys have it there with you. So just be prepared and try to have some time where you just sit down and you just chill and go over this stuff. You don't feel like you're just really rushed. What I like to do, if I have something very hard that I need to do, I bribe myself. And I don't care how people feel about that. I bribed myself so much that I gained like 30 pounds last year. But I used to bribe myself with cakes, or say things like the same thing you might do with your kids. Hey, if y'all do this, I got something special for you, and take yourself to Starbucks, you want your coffee, or whatever you're doing. Especially if you're like me, on your you're paying off certain debts, so you're limiting certain things. Treat yourself to something nice. Okay, say, hey, we're gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts and we're gonna get a donut and we're gonna get this done. Whatever your thing is gonna convince you, but just be prepared and just have everything with you, and just don't try to rush this process, because you may be on the phone for an hour, who knows. And I want you guys, for number two, is just stay calm and stay professional. Be polite, be calm. Understand that, you know, at first it might not actually go your way. Um you might not get exactly what you want. Maybe you need to talk to a few people. Maybe when you talk to them and you say you want lower interest rates, maybe right away they don't give you what you want. Just be calm, like just relax. Okay, just relax. And that's number two. I want you guys to really be calm and be professional. So be polite, calm during the conversation. Remember that the person on the other end is doing their job, and usually it's going to be they're going to talk to you respectfully. So just be nice to them, and then they'll work with you. You know, I like to have like small conversation with them too. Just be nice to them and they'll be nice to you. Number three, explain your situation. Be honest about your financial struggles, but avoid emotional stuff. Okay. So don't just be emotional with it. Just tell them what your financial struggles is, and clearly explain why you're unable to meet your current payments, and also what solution you're proposing. Tell them, hey, I cannot pay my payment. Is it a way I can make a smaller payment, and you guys don't report the negative or the unpaid balance to the credit bureaus? Say different things like that. Say, hey, I just lost my job. I want to keep my credit card current. What can I do in terms of my payment? Can I skip this payment this month? Like, what can I do to avoid, you know, me having bad credit reporting or me messing up this card fully? So try to figure out what it is. And we're going to talk about some of the things too that you can negotiate. So number four, what to ask for. Determine ahead of time what you want from the negotiation. So a few examples are these, and then there's more examples down below. Okay. Do you want them just to lower your interest rate? Talk to them about that. Do you want them to reduce your monthly payments? You can talk to them about that. If you guys had a late fee, you can ask them, can actually waive that late fee for you. And then you can actually ask them to settle out your account. You can say, hey, I know I owe you guys $1,000, but is it a way that I can pay only $800 because that's all I have, and we could just get this account situated. We don't never have to worry about this anymore. I can just settle it out with you guys right now. Now, you have to remember that you do want to get everything in writing. So once you reach an agreement, ask for the terms in writing before making any payments. Sometimes if you guys are, the thing is, sometimes when you guys are doing settlements with these collection companies, they don't actually do certain things in writing. So say if you guys are talking to like portfolio recovery and you want to do like a pay for deletion, sometimes they're not, most of the times they're not going to send you certain things in writing, because when they do a pay for deletion, as long as you pay whatever y'all settled on, usually they're going to delete that account anyway, because it's on their website that they do that. They're going to delete the account. So say if you owe $100, you can say, hey, 60% is, I found my sweet spot when it comes down to portfolio, usually like 60%. Say, hey, can I pay the $60? And they're going to delete that from your credit report. But just make sure you verify. Hi, I just want to make sure you verify that once I make my payment, you guys are going to delete this from my credit reports. And you have to, and now I'm going to school for a lot of law and stuff like that. You know how the collection companies say that they're recording the conversation. I don't too much think, I do want stuff in writing, but I'm not too like, I'm not gonna go crazy if I don't get it in writing, because I know that they're already recording the call, and I know that if they don't do what they need to do, I'm possibly just gonna sue them anyway, and I can ask for that recording, and I can say, hey, we talked about over the phone call that you were going to do this, and if they cannot produce that, then that's going to be a problem. Just make sure you keep the date and the time that you actually talk to them, because that's going to be major. But that's down below is the actual script. Just be calm, you guys, and just, again, take everything step by step. The key thing is this is what I want. How can we meet in the middle? That's the whole conversation, literally. And if you can't do this and you're very nervous, then literally word for word, just repeat what's on here, okay? And you might be transferred a few times. Don't get discouraged. You definitely have this, okay? And if you don't have a membership, look down below. It's $1 trial for the first 7 days, and you guys are going to have over 40 different documents available. The whole 206 episodes with no commercials are on there also, and these bonus 30 episodes are also on there, because it's additional information here that you guys can definitely use based off of the over 40 downloads that you guys have. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully this was very helpful to you guys, and you get whatever you want to get negotiated, and it's on the terms that you want. Hey, welcome to episode 24 of the best episodes of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why your student loans can actually be canceled. And I actually created a guide for you all. So look down below. If you guys already have a membership, you can be able to download the guide. As you can see, all of these is basically all of the different things I created for the membership. So as I record them, I like to just have an actual copy here that I can actually look at and like flip through. And then also, you guys, if you had a membership, you can download it down below. So just go ahead and look at your downloads, and you can just download the actual document. But it's actually a checklist. So I have a student loan cancellation eligibility checklist that I created for those people that need to see, or they want to know if they're eligible to get their student loans actually cancel. So let's go over this guide. If you guys don't have a membership already, please get the membership. It's literally $1 for the first 7 days, and it has over 40 different downloads, from dispute letters that I personally created for the membership, checklists, guides. Is so much in there, and different worksheets that I created so you guys can track certain things. And we're talking all things credit. So definitely sign up for it. And it has over 200 videos with no, if you guys don't pay for like the premium on YouTube, you guys don't have any ads. So you can flip through, fast forward. You can do whatever you want to do in terms of looking at the videos without the ads inside the membership. So go ahead and check it out. I have the link in the description and in the comments. So let's go over some of the things that's on this checklist. So when it comes down to student loan forgiveness, make sure you guys go through this checklist. You can determine if you have it. If you guys do have anything where you think that you may qualify, then you want to have to talk to your servicer to figure out what you need to do for your next step. So the first thing is you need to review what type of loan you have. So you have to determine what type of loans you have, so that you can determine are they even eligible for forgiveness. So do you guys have federal direct loans? Do you have the FFEL loans? Do you have the Perkins, or do you guys have private student loans? Now, let me say this. I know with private student loans, a lot of times for cancellation and forgiveness, where you can't do those. We're talking about federal loans, forgiveness for federal loans. But you can go ahead and check out yes, 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 or no. If you're saying yes, then these are the type um you go now, you'll see if those loans could be forgiven. But I know for sure, like personal student loans, it's not really one of, we talking about federal loans. So you have to check your eligibility for the public service loan forgiveness. And this is for people that got public service jobs, like in the government, nonprofit, in education. You may be eligible if you hit the following. You have to work full-time for the government or nonprofit organization. So yes, you have made 120 qualifying payments under an income-driven repayment plan. And you can say, okay, yes or no. Or you well, not or, but and you have federal direct loans, or they have been consolidated into a direct loan, then yes. Then if you guys have that, then you may be eligible for the PSLF. Okay, so definitely, just check yes or no. And then once you know, okay, it may be something possible, or say if you look at all these different things and you don't qualify because you haven't did the 100 you haven't done your 120 payments, then I want you to call your servicer just to make sure that your information is correct. And honestly, I don't even feel, man, y'all should have some type of ledger, journal, something where you write it down and you have it as a goal. Hey, I got 3 more years and then these loans will be forgiven. I just got to continue to do this. Like, talk to your student loan servicer and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Is there anything else I can do? This is what I'm trying to do. And then you set the goal. Maybe you don't have basically the 10 years of payments, but you did it for 7 years. You got 3 more years to go. Then you need to write it in some type of journal that you're going to look at again, like in a new year, to put on your next journal to say, hey, this is when I can ask for forgiveness. And if you're crazy like me, and I don't know, I want to say crazy. If you don't want to miss a moment, if you don't want to forget something, then put it in your phone. And if you gotta go years out, then go years out. But as long as you get the notification, that's all that matter. Because maybe you don't qualify now, but maybe you will in the future. Just keep track of it, basically. And call them and bug your servicer. Call them and bug them. Ask them a billion questions to make sure that there's something is going to happen, or you can get something to happen right now. Like, oh, I want to do it in 3 years, or hey, what can I do right now? Call them and bug them. So the teacher loan forgiveness, you have taught full time for 5 consecutive years at a low income or educational service agency. Yes, you have direct loans or the FFEL program loans. You have not defaulted on your loans. So if you have said yes to all of those, then maybe you could do the teacher loan forgiveness. And then this is the one that I wanted to do. And I was like, this is just a long time to just be paying interest. I don't think this is even good. Like, I need to pay these things off sooner. So this is the one I was thinking about, was the income-driven repayment plan forgiveness. So this is going to be based off of your income. They're going to have you pay a certain amount per month. So as long as you have made payments under the income-driven repayment plan for 20 to 30 years, then you can think about the forgiveness. You have direct loans or consolidated FFEL loans, then they can think about forgiveness. Or your payments were based on and then your payments are based on your income and your family size, then you would say yes, then you can get forgiveness. But again, y'all, this is 20 to 70 years. Me listening to Dave Ramsey, student loans need to be paid off immediately, seriously, because of the amount that you guys are going to be paying. But if you can get some type of cancellation or forgiveness, get it. But don't just wait and depend on this forever, because you can end up paying way more in the future. We could just got it over with and paid it. So check for the Perkins loan cancellation. So you work in a qualifying public service role, you're a teacher, nurse, law enforcement, military, and you have the Perkins loan. Cancellation is based on services, on your service performed. So if you guys saying yes to these different things, call your servicer to see what you need to do. Now, I did have one of my clients years ago was able to get the total or permanent disability discharge, where they was able to discharge his student loans because he was classified as disabled. So if you're unable to work due to a permanent disability or determined by a physician, the VA, or Social Security Administration, then you may be eligible. You have federal direct loans, FFEL loans, or Perkin loans, then you may be eligible. I have personally seen somebody do this, and I never thought about this until now, that people can really do this again. So if you guys have a disability, or if you get in the Social Security, got you with the VA, or a physician can say that you have a permanent disability and you are unable to work, then this would be good, you guys. You can get rid of those student loans. Definitely think about that. Check for the borrower defense to repayment. Your school misled you, or they engaged in illegal practices like false advertising, misrepresenting your job placement rates, you may be eligible. If you attended a qualifying institution, then you guys can get cancellation this way. I have seen somebody else do this one too. So definitely these can be great ways where you don't even have to worry about paying them off anymore. So definitely look into it. Now, temporary programs or adjustments, you guys can qualify for the PSLF waiver. That's allowing past payments to count towards your forgiveness. And you can qualify for also the COVID-19 emergency relief programs, which pause the payments and our interest. So when it come down to this, and I know it may be another program too, but I know I want to add this too, that when people were in default during the COVID time, and I don't know if they still doing it now, they was able to put them all back current. It was a new program that they have. So just call and see if they got any program. The goal is just to take action and call your loan servicer for real and discuss your eligibility for forgiveness and the discharge programs. Submit the necessary applications. So if you got to apply for the PSLF, apply for it. The teacher forgiveness, apply for it, or any other relevant program, and keep your documentation. So maintain the detailed records of your payments, your job certifications, or any communication with your servicer. And again, I always have my membership, the exclusive credit membership, if you guys have other things that you need to work on in regards to your credit. But I cannot stress this enough. Get on the phone, call them up. Get on the phone, literally give them a call, your servicer, and say, hey, I want to figure out if there's anything out there I can do in terms of cancellation or forgiveness for my student loans. Call them up. They're going to tell you yes or no, and they're going to be able to help you with whatever they actually have. They'll tell you the different steps, because when I was talking to my servicer previously about something totally different, that's how I learned about other stuff. And I'm like, dang, I don't qualify, but that sounds nice for whoever qualified. You might qualify for the stuff that I wish I could be able to get qualified for at that time when I talked to them. So definitely give them a call. If you guys have questions, definitely let me know. Put the questions inside the course. I'll answer the questions for you. I might even make a video and send it to you, but I'll have your phone number, your email address, so I text it to you to make sure you watch it. And I'll probably have it available for YouTube or inside the course. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, get the course. It's $1 for the first 7 days. And at the time of recording this, it's only $9.99 a month. So it's less than $10 per month to be able to have this membership. You have over 40 downloads and also over 200 videos. You cannot get nothing better than that, especially with the dispute letters I have in here alone are amazing. But I want to have something for the community, so definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.